friends, our mission director, Dream, Francis Karshiyeng, who has been doing a commendable job as Dream Mission Director, MD, Srimati Jubi Moman, DIGP Administration, Mr. Ringran TC Moman, Mr. Giri Prasad, who has been leading the ANTF from the front, our friends from the media fraternity, all the awardees and personnel of ANTF. It is indeed a moment of pride for the ANTF that we are assembling here today. It's barely 7 months since we had the launch of this directorate, the inauguration of this directorate by our Honorable Chief Minister, Deputy Chief Minister and Charge Home, where I was also present. And since then, ANTF has been growing from strength to strength. In terms of space, we are here in a small room. But when it comes to our mission and our aspirations, they are beyond any capacity to be quantified. And we would like to continue to pursue with that mission more, because it is this very vital operation and the task before us will decide what kind of future the state of Meghalaya will have. I have made an effort to get this program organized here today because a lot of the time the police department keeps drawing flag, keeps drawing undue criticism. Just a few months back, when the infamous murder at Sora occurred, even before the case could be solved and even before the victim could be immediately found, the body of the victim could be found. I think I should share this with you with a lot of pride that I spoke to the media and said that we have a very efficient police department. The name of Meghalaya will be cleared and the Meghalaya police will come out stronger after that episode. It was a major risk because had what I had said turned to be otherwise, I would have had eggs on my face and probably even had to tender my resignation as minister, because I had said that Meghalaya is safe, the police are doing a commendable job, and we will crack this case. Today is another milestone because our personnel just last week itself have been able to nab contraband worth over 4 crore rupees in just one single seizure. People armed with mobile phones, sitting in their couches and watching the TV, and at the same time hooked to their mobile phones, can say a lot of things about what should be done. But it is our boys and girls, it is our officers and our men in the field who have to do the challenging task of breaking the backbone of the supply chain, for which Meghalaya is a lucrative transit point because of its geographical location. It's so easy to be an armchair critic and offer solutions to all problems that Meghalaya has. But to actually be there, leading from the front and proving your mettle day after day, that takes courage, that takes conviction, that takes dedication. So, however small this gathering, let us at least have one more round of applause for all our men and women in uniform. The other day I was at the Durand Cup watching the Lajong versus Northeast United football match. What struck me was that in the field you had professionals. We had professional players and we had professional coaches at the stadium, at the ground. But the loudest commentators are the spectators. They keep telling each player, why don't you hit the ball this way, that way? Why are you so slow? Why are you so fast? Why didn't you catch that ball? That is for me a perfect analogy of what our job entails us to do. We do not scream at the top of our lungs every time we sign important files in the secretariat. You do not hoist your flag every time there is a major catch. Yet we achieve results. Today, any media person can ask, how is it that the drug scene in Meghalaya has become so bad? The one thing I can share with you is that apart from being a transit point, Meghalaya also faces challenges because this is a scene that was not envisaged even 10 years ago. Yet we have proved that we are capable, and going through the reports, the presentation, the total worth of contraband seized, which has crossed 400 crores, shows that we have the professionalism, the capacity, and the willpower to deal with this problem and ensure that it is wiped out. It is a simple case for the drug scene in our state. It's simply a matter of kill or be killed. We either succumb to it or we emerge victorious. We either become victims or we turn out to be victors. Therefore, I would sincerely urge each one of us who are in this room and those who will be viewing this speech later on through various news channels that Meghalaya, I am sure, will turn victorious. We have managed to break the bone of insurgency. One of the few states that insurgency was ultimately wiped out simply through the police department. We did not call in the army. Other states had to do that. Nagaland has had to do that. Mizoram has had to do that. Punjab has had to do that. The Maoist Naxalite region has had to do that. Assam has had to do that. Meghalaya was one of the few states that dealt with insurgency using its own police force. How many of us are even aware of that? We're not aware because we take things for granted. We also have to bear in mind that we are one of the youngest states in this country. 65% of our population is below the age of 35. How do we invest in that young population if there are repeated, constant attempts to lure them into the traps of drugs and other substances of abuse? I can assure you, having gone through this list of machinery required, that wherever I believe you have items that will be required in your operations as well as in the office, I give you my very clear assurance that all of these will be met immediately with funding from the DREAM project. I would request our mission director to work in close tandem with the SP, the NTF, to ensure that this fructifies into concrete action. We are here to support you. We are here because Meghalaya needs to chart. Of course, this is another menace which I'm sure we will be able, with the support of all stakeholders and especially of civil society. I would once again appeal that the various Dorwashnongs, Kwat Ngaweri Dorwashnong, Kiniawan Shakman, Nila Don Lupa, Kajing Penbek, Limba, VDP, Kaba, Takajing Shimbenta, Jonki Shnong Borok, Pinyarap, Ba Pitlum Jiktip, Pinyarap, Ba Pin Detect, But Wanonra, Shaka Jingbisha Jogaan, Yakini Inong Kai, Lucky Long Kibarit, Nakiwahe, Katno Katnoru. It is always easier to point fingers, but it takes two hands to clap. To point a finger, you just lift one to say, hey, it's your job. But it requires all of 10 fingers to come together for us to make a sound, to make an impact. Let us make that impact. And before I wind up, let me cite the example of a state that held so much promise. The state of Punjab has always produced thousands of our men in uniform, soldiers, sports persons, gymnasts. What happened years later when the drug menace gripped Punjab? Every single household had at least one addict. And today, those who could afford, those who have the means, have left that state in order to settle in the US, in Europe, in Canada. We do not want that kind of a fate for Meghalaya. Therefore, let us resolve to support all these efforts. Let us also resolve every citizen of Meghalaya should bear in mind that he or she has a contribution to make, rather than just making comments on your mobile phones. Leave the mobile set alone. Play your role proactively, and we will ensure a state that continues to grow, a state with so much potential that the rest of the world is now looking to us, to our culture, to our natural beauty. Let us also ensure that they look to Meghalaya as an example of a state that is bigger than the challenges that confront it. Thank you, Kupleshpur Mithela Jail.
Can we ask
Will you
one?
take few questions?
Can we
based
line
on
up
those-
with?
yes.
We line up the formal program first.
Yeah.
I think there were eight. Yes.
And all these persons are from the.
All from the ANTF. Yes.
Sir, in fact, in the presentation, we have seen that in last 5 years, there's more than 400 crores drugs was seized.
Yes.
So, yeah. So, whether how is the trend? Is it going up or down in terms of seizure, and how is the trend?
I can tell you this, the fact that today the cost of narcotics has gone up indicates that the pressure on drug traffickers has gone up. Mr. Giri can supplement on this, but the fact is that today we have entered areas which were normally not attended to in the past. For instance, areas within the cantonment board have been thriving ground for sale of narcotics. Today, ANTF has reached those areas as well. So, we assure you that we will continue to step up pressure and ensure that we are in a position to finally wipe out drug menace from the state of Meghalaya.
When it comes to drugs, we have seen those who are taking drugs has taken law into their own hand. We have seen the today's news report about the case in Quinton Road, where one person who consumes drugs actually attacked person with. So we have seen that the life of the people, the life of the citizen of the state is not safe because of this drug. So beside this, catching the drug peddlers, what else are you doing to ensure the life of the people?
We have a dream mission which has multifarious roles, multidimensional roles, and under this mission there is close coordination of various departments. For instance, the departments of Home Police, Social Welfare, Education, Health, Law, all of these are part and parcel of the mission, the dream mission, and we are ensuring that wherever there are loose ends, we keep tying those loose ends.
And
Francis, can I do that? Yeah.
Regarding those issues of for users, drug users, we are strongly working on enhancing de-addiction centers. We will shortly be getting one in Tura, most probably two in Northstone, another two, and most probably another one in Giantia Hills also. And also we are working for post-rehab, introducing vocational skills. At the moment, the ITI is conducting vocational skills at 2 rehab centers. So that prevents a relapse, that will go to relapse. So aftercare for users is also a very strong point that we are working.
Sir, last time you mentioned about this. Again.
Direct. Take more information on ANTF first.
If we come to this seizure of drugs, how do you see? If you can tell us year to year basis, if you can tell us that which year you find it more seizure and year to year basis. Roughly.
See, usually in 2023, 24, 25, so there has been increasing trend. So even this year also almost we have arrested close to 100, 95 people so far. But there are two different types of trafficking. One is the consumer base, which they target the youth of Meghalaya. Other one is transit purpose. So transit purpose, sometimes because of intense checking and catches, both in Riboy and East Jaintia Hills, so some drug traffickers have chosen alternative routes to supply to other states. So maybe that is why there is reduction in the little bit of seizures. But whichever is they are planning to target to Meghalaya, so they have to take it through the transit route of East Jaintia or Riboy. So those kind of cases have increased, and we have been very successful in those seizures in the recent years.
Since you mentioned about Riboy and East Jaintia Hills, what are you doing to monitor these transit routes?
See, because there is also district ANTFs in all the districts, not just in Riboy and East Jaintia Hills, but Riboy and East Jaintia being the entry and exit points, and as a for the main national highway, so it's more vulnerable for drug transportation. So we are closely working with the district ANTFs of the respective districts. And if you see the seizures in recent times, so we have been focusing especially in entry exit points, because the quantity of drug seizures are huge in these both districts, because they bring in large quantities. But once they try to pass inside these districts, then they try to divide among different drug peddlers. So we have been close, I'm in touch with these both districts. And recently also that seizure of 4 crores and 40 lakhs in a single day was a joint operation of ATF and the East Jaintia Hills District Police.
Can you tell us till date the quantity of seizure?
So that already in the presentation we can tell you. I don't have 1 minute. So these are already shared with in the presentation only. So we have a total seizure of around 40,000, around 41,000 grams of heroin in the last 5 years. Then 12,756 kgs of ganja. Then 2 kgs of opium. Then yaba tablets around 76 kgs. Crystal meth 14 kgs. Then other psychotropic substances around 16 kgs. Then codeine cough syrup around 1,24,000 bottles. So the total value of seizure is around more than 412 crores so far, and of which we have already destroyed half of them in the East Jaintia Hills Star Summit.
So what is the